Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ali Siddiqui, General Manager, Agile Operations, CA Technologies.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the content area opening for Agile Operations at CA World 2017. It's wonderful to see all of you, and a big thanks for making this trip. I'm Ali Siddiqui, General Manager for Agile Ops BU at CA Technologies. And I am really excited about this year's CA World, because for the next 2 days, we're going to showcase you, demo to you, some really great innovations that we've been working on with many of you for the past 1 year. Great solutions that will not only help make your work life better, but also that of your end users. I've been fortunate enough to have crisscrossed the globe visiting many of you. And one thing is evidently clear. IT operations is evolving at an amazing pace and doing some truly wonderful things. Instead of monitoring at a component level, the best teams are actively working on using analytics and working on a unified view to break the silos across the different tiers. To start with, this begs a simple but revealing question. Isn't the end user experience and correlation of business metrics with IT performance monitoring a key critical business outcome for all of us? Industry analysts and many of our customers agree it is. In fact, this is why so many of us see digital experience a lasting and sustainable competitive advantage for most companies. But to deliver on this, it's not easy. And at CA, I'm really proud to share with you a new breed of monitoring tools that use advanced analytics and provide a unified view across the silos that will help you accelerate your digital transformation. How the app was delivered, the last mile used to be an afterthought. Not anymore. In the morning, you heard our CEO, Mike Gregoire, give an amazing overview of the modern software factory. I really liked Mike's analogy and how he summarized that teams are now working collaboratively and working together in a true DevOps fashion to break the silos and deliver on this digital experience. We call this the digital delivery chain. And it is as strong as its weakest link. So at CA, we have been working on a unified view that brings all this together and uses analytics to provide you deep insight. Deep insights that you can bring back into the modern software factory and share with your design teams, your development teams, and the operations team in a truly collaborative way. We believe you need a holistic and a new approach to monitoring. Let's look at some of the challenges in this delivery chain. And there are some unique ones. To start with, let's acknowledge that the modern app, the modern architecture now is API-centric, API-driven, and based on microservices. A recent report by Google and many public cloud providers agree with the findings of this report, pointed out that there are 18,000 public APIs now and growing at almost 18% annually. Do you know if your API is down? Do you know how your APIs are performing? The second thing the report found, that microservices, which is an awesome, awesome architecture, and I think the future architecture of most modern apps, the adoption will increase almost 10x by 2021. Now, do you know the amount of alerts that these applications are now generating? Do you know, or are you aware of the alarm fatigue that is being caused? We all are. The third aspect is around network. Network is ubiquitous now and even more important than ever. The report found that 88% of enterprises will adopt SDN. What does that mean for blind spots in this network chain? Those are the critical pieces of information that we need to solve. The traditional IT fallback has been to bring in more and more purpose tools. Well, that's good, but that creates even more problems, 3 additional problems. Number one, the best thing we can say about purpose tools and point solution, and some of them are really, really good, is they are point solution. That's the best thing I can say. Number two, it creates data silos, which goes counter the collaborative and DevOps culture we're all trying to build. Number three, it limits collaboration. We are trying to deliver a DevOps tool chain. Your teams are working hard to do that. You need collaboration. And it's not just us who's saying that you need a unified view. The industry analysts and our customers are saying this requires to break this point tool solution, silos, break these barriers requires a holistic, unified approach across these tiers. And I can say this with confidence, CA is the only vendor that has deep domain expertise across these 3 silos. And now we are delivering on a unified view, a holistic approach which uses analytics to drive monitoring to the next generation. What this means is your application, infrastructure, and network needs to work together in a holistic fashion. And you need to deliver insights back to your design teams, development teams, who need to collaborate with the operations team. That's what we are trying to solve with many of you. Don't just believe me. This is what the industry analysts are saying. A recent report by Gartner said 90% of network monitoring tools will have some kind of machine learning to correlate and figure out dependencies. The same report pointed out from Gartner that 60% of IT monitoring investments will focus on business value. That's amazing, because that's what we are delivering now. Business metrics correlated with performance metric, that's CA's solution and product focus. Breaking the silos, using machine learning, not just in network monitoring, but how about doing it holistically? That's what you need, and that's what we are doing at CA. That's what my engineers and data scientists have been working hard with many of you to deliver. So just to give you an overview of the architecture, how are we doing this? So the strategy we've adopted is, number one, an open architecture. Number two, multi-vendor, because we understand in your data centers you have many tools. So how about bringing a holistic view across multi-vendors? And number three, we're going to innovate on top of open source. Open source is doing some amazing innovation, and we're going to innovate on top of it and provide you that open source innovation coupled with enterprise backing and support. The two key things we are focused on is operation intelligence. So this platform, what it delivers is the capabilities around operation intelligence and business insights. We let you bring in data, store, search, and correlate, and then get into predictive IT. And I'm really excited to say that the three products that are delivering on this vision, on this need of today of a unified holistic view that we are launching in this CA world and been working on for the past 1 year are, number one, CA Digital Experience Insights. This is a holistic solution, cloud native, which lets you optimize the digital transformation you want to execute on, from user experience to application to infrastructure, and soon we are going to add NetOps to it. So that's number one, cloud native solution for your cloud journey and digital transformation. Number two, really excited to welcome RunScope team to the family. RunScope is the best in class API monitoring tool out there, bar none. It's extremely easy to use. Again, focused on cloud, delivered as a true SaaS model. And one thing I can say, as I pointed out, modern apps need API monitoring. This is the number one thing. And this tool lets you shift left into a DevOps collaborative fashion. How about if I told you, you can get your developers to write your monitoring for you and use that in production, same code. That's the value of RunScope. Your API-driven applications of tomorrow need this kind of monitoring tool, which is the best out there and lets you shift left. Number three, very excited that we've been working with many of you on CA's Digital Operation Intelligence platform, which lets you provide the holistic view approach that I talked about, lets you have business insights through service analytics, as well as get into predictive IT by modeling and using machine learning on how your SLA might breach 1 day later or 1 week later. So those are the three key solutions we are, that we have, which help you get on this digital experience journey. So at this point, I would like, let's hear from our own customers how they are executing on their digital experience journey with CA technologies. So let's roll the video.
We were event-driven, very siloed. We're well past that. We're well into service modeling, including cloud services in the model, including customer experience in the model. In fact, we don't even refer to it as APM anymore. We try to move away from that word and call anything APM related customer experience.
That's a great feature that APM just came out with predictive analytics.
Yep.
That helps a lot. That's a first baby step. I think it's a correct step in the right direction.
Right.
You know, once we get that intelligence built across, let's say, for example, CA products, that's even better. I mean, you think about that possibilities, that if the intelligence is built into the layer where you have 4 CA products and they're able to communicate, intelligently and provide you, PKIs and recommendations, that's huge. Intelligence makes our job a lot easier.
Wow, you heard it from our customers. Now, to give you more details, I welcome Sushil Kumar, who's the SVP of Product Management and Strategy for Agile Operations.
Thank you, Ali. Good morning, everyone. You know, this is my very first CA World. I have been with the company for about 10 months. Met many of you. In fact, we had a very passionate and engaging customer advisory board meeting the last 2 days. And that's exactly what we hear. What you heard customers saying on the video. They want more intelligence, they want more integration. So what I will try to do in the next 30 minutes is to give you a brief summary of how we are shaping and evolving our products to cater to those needs. Now, both Ali and Mike talked about a really very obvious fact of today, which is the role of IT is evolving from enabler of business to really business itself, where nothing matters more than the user experience and the business outcome. But Ali also said something, which is, it is not easy. Why is it not easy? I mean, this is the motherhood and apple pie. All of us want to do that. Well, the reason it is not easy is you require a unified visibility of the entire digital delivery chain, which starts all the way from the edge devices, which could be your mobile app, could be a sensor, could be IoT. Then you need seamless drill down to the business transactions, application code performance, all the way to a complex maze of infrastructure that you may have that, mind you, may comprise your on-prem data center, cloud, and even mainframe. Now, this digital delivery chain has always been complex. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it, it's getting even more complex with container microservices. We live in the world of distributed computing. Your applications are distributed, your databases are distributed, your data center is distributed. So big challenge is how to take all these pieces of puzzle and put all the pieces together. And the reason it is challenging is now you are dealing with so much of data, you can't create enough dashboards. And let me tell you, even if you could create dashboard, there are not enough hours in a day to look at them. And I'm sure nobody complains about not getting enough alerts. Anybody here wants more alerts? I thought so. Now we are in a fortunate situation and we take this responsibility very seriously. Thanks to you, we have leading products in each of the domain. And that's an opportunity and as well as responsibility for us. And these rankings are not just arbitrary ranking. These are ranking based on your feedback. So thank you very much. Like you heard Mike talk about, our application management solution powers second experience for Eurosport, forensics for law enforcement agencies, our infrastructure and network management products monitor everything from point of sale system, ATM, to some of the largest network. Our focus going forward is to help you marry this deep visibility into each of the domain with a unified visibility across your entire digital delivery chain, which, like I said, start with the user experience, seamlessly connect to application performance, all the way to infrastructure. And the way we are doing it is using the power of data analytics and machine intelligence. Ali talked about our analytic platform. And that platform enables us to get data from all your sources. Could be CA tools, could be non-CA tools. We take transaction traces, topology, metrics and alarms from all different domain managers, put that into an open, elastic, scalable data lake, where you get a chance to commingle this data with your business KPIs, with your custom data, and now you have a gold mine of information where you can now at least have end-to-end visibility. And that's extremely important. It's not just about dashboarding. The reason it is important is you can't manage what you can't see. So we start with giving you correlation and unified visibility end-to-end. But then on top of that, we give you insights into how your business services are doing. What are the hot spots in your data center that are more failure prone? What are the causes? What are the weakest link in your chain that is responsible for most amount of outages? And of course, giving you forward-looking view. How can you anticipate future capacity growth? Not just growth. How can you efficiently manage the use of cloud infrastructure where it's easily to rack up a bill that can break your budget? And then apply that with a wealth of machine learning algorithm to create a very powerful solution that gives you insight, intelligence, and automation. And by the way, this solution then becomes a very key source for us to create an algorithmic feedback loop back to the original products. So analytics is not a strategy just to bring everything together. It's also a strategy to make our existing tools smarter. And we want to give you all of this, your choice, on-prem, the product that you already love, as well as SaaS. In fact, we are using SaaS as a vehicle to do agile innovation. We are very thankful to have loyal customer base. You are always with us in terms of uptaking new versions, but there are limits. In SaaS environment, we update our software once a week. We are also taking this opportunity to modernize. So in a few minutes, I will show you a demo of our SaaS product. Many of you love that there is no flash component there. Integrate. I will show you how we are bringing all these domains together and creating this cross-tier visibility across digital supply chain. As well as another ask of yours, how can we make our products delightful to use? Quick onboarding, easier navigation. Now, we realize some of you, in fact, many of you may be cloud ready today. You can use our SaaS product to monitor your entire environment, or maybe you can take your cloud-based workload and you can start from there. But then we also understand many of you are bounded by regulations, privacy concerns, and you need on-prem software. And that's where it's a very, very vital part of our strategy to have a single code base. The same functionality that you'll get in SaaS, it's our promise, you'll get in on-prem. You are in control, it's your choice. But even if you are an on-prem customer, remember all the time that you take in downloading a new version, setting up a test environment, all the pre-work that you need to do before you can upgrade. Now you can use SaaS environment. You can try testing as often as you want. And that's why this SaaS-first agile approach is such a vital part for our entire customer base, not just people who are going to be SaaS customers. And that's why I'm so excited and so thrilled to officially announce our Digital Experience Insight. It's a product where you get to use the same products that you love, AXA, APM, infrastructure management, in an easy-to-use SaaS platform, but it's even more. It's truly where we're connecting the dots. It's an integrated, digital experience-centric, unified app-to-infrastructure management solution. In fact, let me show that with you, And I'm going to be brave here with a live demo. So let's see if we can get the demo. Can we get the demo on the screen? Okay. So this is the launch pad of how our digital experience insight product looks like. You see there are 3 tiles. They stands for Application Experience Analytics. Many of you are using that product. APM and Infrastructure Manager. So for example, if you can drill down and you can get to see how the future of unified infrastructure management looks. Notice there is no flash here. Okay. But more than that, let me show you how, in fact, I'm logged out, so let me log back in. It actually helps me demonstrate one thing. Single login, you're back there. Okay? Let me make sure I have all the login and everything sorted out. Yes, it is. So now, let me start with the Launchpad. And what I'm going to demo you is how we are creating this unified cross-tier visibility. So let me start with the Application Experience Analytics. Many of you are using this product. Some of you may not have seen this. But this is the very product that Mike talked about Eurosport using. It's a user experience analytics product for all kind of application, your mobile application, web application. And the very first thing that you see your applications, how they are ranked in terms of usage, by resource utilization, but most importantly, you look at problematic applications. And what we are saying is that this particular application is crashing and is not giving the kind of experience that we want our users to have. So I'll drill down on this. Now I get to see each and every session, the number of HTTP requests, page hits. If I scroll below, I see the hotspots. I see all number of crashes, request latency. And if I want, I can even create alerts based on this. Now what it truly does is, it enables you to put yourself in user's shoes and get to know about their experience at the same time that they do. Now, let me drill down. I drill down here. And now I'm looking at all sessions. And mind you, this is each and every session. But here, what I'm most interested in looking at the sessions where we had crash. So here is one of the sessions. Let me drill down. Now you see a whole wealth of details. Which application, which version, what was the total end-to-end response time, where the user came from, which device they were running, which wireless carrier. We get to see all events. We even get to see the screenshots. In fact, if I want, I can see the entire video replay of that session. This is exactly, it's almost like peeking over the user's shoulder. What you're seeing here is a user is trying to look for the concert tickets. And as you can see, what this tells us that there was a delay in terms of all the concerts loading up. So in the interest of time, let me continue moving. Now here at the bottom, we see all the events that happen on the mobile device, as well as all the calls that they were made, right? Now if I look at the transactions, here are the transactions. And we have automatically identified that the user, when they were trying to load their shopping cart, they had slow performance. In fact, this is what the product has automatically flagged. So if I drill down, now I get to see the event associated with that particular transaction. And here we see that there's a call that is made to the backend applications. Now I want to know what's going on there. So I drill down, and then I get dropped in context to the APM transaction trace. So if I continue, I see all the transactions, all the calls that were made. I can keep drilling down. I have a lot of the details. Now, I also get to see the flow map. how was the application transaction routed? I see all the dependencies, I see all the components, whether they are the front-end applications, URL calls, servlet, as well as a call to backend infrastructure like database. Now what we see here is there is an infrastructure component, and we see all the application details, but we also see the infrastructure level details correlated with application performance. So for example, if I click here, you see all the infrastructure metric. And let me tell you, there are multiple ways to get this. In this particular case, this information is coming from IAM infrastructure management, which is the UIM. So what we have just shown you is that how I have taken the information collected by Unified Infrastructure Management product correlated with the application performance. And if I want to get more details, I can drill down in context to the device homepage, where I will get to see the lot of other details. For example, here I get to see that this is a virtual machine, it is running Linux, it is running on Amazon. And I can continue looking at KPIs, the metrics. I can look at the metric history here. I can seamlessly drill down in context to alarm, where I can see all the details. Obviously, you can do notification, but we also have integration with tools like PagerDuty and other products in the future like ServiceNow. So what I just showed you is how I was able to start from end user experience, seamlessly drill down to the infrastructure view. Now, just to close, I also talked about some of the analytics capability that we are building. So I'll just give you a sneak peek of how this capability is already available in our SaaS, and very soon it will be available in on-prem version as well. What you see is we give you an overall summary of where you are going to run out of capacity, as well as where you have wastage. So if I drill down, I will get to see the different resources, compute memory. I can either see this heat map based on where I have risk of running out of capacity, but even more interesting for cloud, I can see where I'm wasting resources. So that was a quick view of what Digital Experience Insight enables you to do. Now this is just a small preview. We can show you a much longer demo. In fact, you can even sign up for free trials in our demo booth. But hopefully that gave you a quick glimpse of how we are using Digital Experience Insight to modernize, simplify, and integrate our product. And by the way, if you're ready to buy, you can click the buy button on the product using your Amazon credit card. You can buy the product right now, starting at $200 a month. Okay. Let's get back to the slide deck, please. And like I said, if you love, and again, like I said, we have designed this product around modern user experience. There are a whole bunch of self-guided tutorials. If you're new to the product, you don't have to spend more than 15 minutes trying to find your way. We have sample applications. If you are not ready to deploy an agent, or if you don't have an application, you can try the full functionality. And by the way, when you are ready to download the agent, just 3 clicks away. And if you like all of, and if you like all of this functionality, like I said, it's available on your terms. You have the choice of using our shared public cloud, as I said, starting with $200 a month. But we have also heard from enterprises that you like this functionality, but you would like that delivered in a more secure and geolocation compliant manner. So we are working with a handful of customers to create what we call DX type private region. That will be a single tenant delivered from location of your choice, right? And of course, if you're already using one or more of our products, you'll get all the same capabilities as and when update the on-prem versions. Hopefully what you also saw Ali talking about is how we are modernizing the management footprint of our products. APIs and microservices is the foundation of modern applications. And that's where a lot of our investment in going. Making APIs the first-class citizen, treating microservices as the foundation of your application, giving you seamless visibility into the traditional infrastructure, cloud, and containers. But the part that excites me more than anything else is the deep visibility can provide you in what I call the spine of modern application, which is network. Now, a lot of us are used to doing network monitoring using SNMP, and that's great. But the reality of the matter is today's networks are a lot more complicated. That digital supply chain that I showed you, it probably involved a wireless carrier, maybe some Cisco ACI, traditional network, and maybe a hop to public cloud using your SD-WAN. You must have unified visibility into the entire network chain. And you must see that in the context of application experience. For API, as Ali talked about, we are extremely excited to have the best-in-class API monitoring solution. Let me just spend a minute talking about API. Ali already talked about that. For the longest time, we have seen applications having a face. Either it's a web front end or that's a mobile front end. I think we live in the world of machine-to-machine communication. IoTs, sensor, connected car. APIs are the backbone of those applications. It's time that we started treating APIs as a first-class citizen, and that's exactly what Runscope does. It monitors availability, it monitors performance, and it also monitors the data validation. It's a product that is used by around 100,000 developers, spread across 1,200 customers. We run close to 20 million API tests every day. This is clearly a product that has proven itself. And I will highly encourage you to stop by demo booth and give it a shot. And by the way, they have extremely cool t-shirts. And I love their motto, everything is going to be 200, okay. So if you want these t-shirts, just stop by there. Microservices. Containers are the foundation of modern applications, like I said. But they also impose certain new challenges because they are short-lived. They come and go. You don't have time to instrument always a container with an agent. So how do you keep tab of this dynamic environment? And that's why we have evolved our solution to do both agentless as well as deep agent-based monitoring. So what you see here is, even without deploying any agent inside the application container, we can still give you visibility of dependencies and flow. We can correlate, and I showed you some of this in my demo, correlate application, container, infrastructure performance together. And we have support for almost all major microservices platform, OpenShift, Kubernetes, Cloud Foundry, you name it. And this list is continuing to grow. On the infrastructure management side, I talked about how cloud is really one of the key priority for us. And our goal is to provide you seamless visibility into your traditional data center, your public cloud, maybe one or more, or hybrid cloud. Capacity analytics, I already talked about. Log. The reason we bringing log to infrastructure management is, again, we want to break the silos of the logs and events and alarms. Again, in order for you to have holistic visibility, you must see the log events and the metric-based alarm in context. And that's our goal here. But again, I come to the favorite part of my presentation. When I got to CA, one of the most exciting things I found was the deep and sophistication that we have, the depth and sophistication we have for network management. And in my conversation with many of you, one thing I heard loud and clear, you love our products, but you could use some help in making the life cycle management easier. As opposed to deploying multiple point products and managing them, you love the data, you love the visibility, but you like all of that to be packaged and unified. And that's exactly what we are working on, which is take the fault inventory alarm from Spectrum, marry that with the performance for flow, packet, SNMP, non-SNMP, even commingle that, correlate that with the log events, as well as information that we get from SDN controllers, and put it all together into a unified network operations portal, which is backed by the product that you may already be using, CA Performance Center. That becomes your unified portal, where you get to see the unified visibility of end-to-end network. All the data is correlated in context, made available to you via Open API, probably the best set of API that I have seen in any monitoring product. And seamlessly integrated with the overall end-to-end analytic platform to give you this app to infra to network seamless end-to-end visibility. And like Ali said, we are starting an early preview version of making the same NetOps solution as a part of our Digital Experience Insights SaaS solution. And with that, unparalleled, we will have unparalleled solution for you that provides you the most broad and deep coverage into what I call the digital delivery chain. So anyway, this was a very high level overview. I'm sure you have a lot more questions. We have lots of demo booths. We have probably elite panel of product experts who will be able to answer any deep question that you have. In fact, if they cannot answer a question, answer for that probably doesn't exist anywhere. But at a high level, I just want you to walk away with this. What we are doing at CA is helping enterprises like yours, and we consider ourselves a part of that community, successfully undertake this digital transformation by providing you intelligent, integrated, and modern solutions. Solutions that are rich in algorithmic insights and automation, where you have a choice of using SaaS, on-prem, hybrid, but most importantly, something that is designed for the modern infrastructure and modern set of users. Right. And that's how we are trying to play a very humble role in making you guys successful. While we are excited about our products, we realize that ultimately, the people who actually translate the capability of product into business outcome are all of you. And that's why we want to thank you for your support, and we want to celebrate your success. So for that, let me invite Kiran Taylor to announce our Breaking Barrier Awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushil. Thank you, Sushil. I'd like to invite Ali Siddiqui, our General Manager for Agile Operations. He'll help me hand out these awards. This is my favorite part of CA World. It's this time of the year where we recognize three, and just three, customers for our Breaking Barriers Awards. And it's probably more appropriate, rather than calling them customers, I think they're design partners, because they really team with us to push the envelope on innovation. In fact, some of the solutions that Sushil just demonstrated, digital experience insights, digital operational intelligence, are really via collaboration with these companies. So without further ado, let's get to our first award. Our first recipient is a well-known financial services company out of London. They work with CA in a number of areas. It's really full stack monitoring. They monitor over 20,000 Linux and Unix servers with CA Unified Infrastructure Management, 30,000 devices with CA Spectrum, and every single branch office, ATM machine, and online banking apps are monitored with CA APM. What's cool about Barclays is that they really instrument apps during the build. They really embrace the concept of shift-left monitoring. OpenShift, Kubernetes, AWS environments, they do it all, and they really improve that digital experience for their customers. So please join me in congratulating middleware engineer John Connolly and infrastructure specialist Paul Maddox. Please come to the stage. Congratulations. Thank you. Our next Breaking Barrier Award recipient is arguably the best known brand in news. And if I tell you that their headquarters in Atlanta, you've probably already guessed who it is. It's, of course, CNN. Last year's presidential election was monumental in obvious ways, but it dominated news cycles, both online and via broadcast. And CNN partnered with CA partnered with CNN Technologies to really help them gain insight into the customer experience, in particular for their CNN election app. You can join me following this keynote for an in-depth discussion of how they used app experience analytics. But for now, please join me in congratulating Vice President of Digital Products, John Hashimoto. Hey, John, how are you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you, John. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, our third and final Breaking Barrier Award goes to one of the 4 largest financial institutions in Australia. In fact, they're ranked the 21st largest bank in the world. Over 2,000 branches, 5,000 ATM machines across Australia, New Zealand, and Asia. They serve over 12 million customers. And just as Ali's presentation centered on the digital experience, NAB partnered with CA around its primary focus, customer experience. They quickly identify performance impacting situations from both modern and legacy systems. Please join me in congratulating Ben Munn, APM Technical Lead for Customer Experience Monitoring at National Australia Bank. Congratulations. Okay, so you just heard about 3 IT monitoring superheroes. We want to hear your stories as well. In fact, we've got some graffiti artists in our booth that want to capture those stories. So after this, please go see them. As Sushil mentioned, please sign up for Digital Experience Insights. As a result of your sign up, you'll get a cool t-shirt, custom tattoo sleeve. You can really be the envy of your office wearing that. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a great CA World.